reason in particular that I thought that these were interesting. So if you look at the upper right photo from the left, you have the it's like they're all named after dogs basically. So you have then Wolf on the left, who's explained to be like actually a descendant of Håkon the Viking. That was the Viking who ransacked the castle. So there's like this kind of deep ancestral connection to him and his fight against gargoyles. Then we have Dingo, that's just like a regular Australian man. Fox, that's actually
Just average Australian on the
he's just
second
an
left here.
average Australian. I'm not kidding. That's kind of his identity, right?
That's how they look.
The
in
most
real life.
normal crocodile hunting Australian man. Fox we have in the middle here, who is the daughter of Queen Titania, and Halcyon. He marries Xanatos. So she breaks away from this gang basically before they get into like this real weird genetic modification, transhumanism stuff. And on the right here, you have the two Canadians. You have the Hyena and Jackal, who they are apparently twins, and these are like become some of the most persistent villains characters in the later, in season 3, because they are completely deranged. So in the beginning, they are just sort of hired in by Xanatos as to just be like this kind of security troop. And they also have a TV show that's similar to American Gladiators, if I'm not wrong. So that's where you get the look from. But they're more interested in actually doing like big game hunting and war and fighting than doing television shows. So they end up then scuffling and trying to hunt down the gargoyles, which they fail spectacularly at that. So then they're offered by Xanatos artificial intelligence stand-in. If you see on the bottom left picture here,
Yep.
that becomes like the 6th member of the pack. That's let's see if Coyote is his name.
Right.
And he's just made to look like a dog, but he is essentially just a robot, Xanatos, right?
Yeah, he's one of the gargoyle robots. Yeah.
And no, he's not even. He was a gargoyle robot, so they make multiple iterations of him, but he's just a floating head in a sense.
Right.
And he just comes out and says that, okay, well, you got your ass handed last time, but maybe you're interested in some enhancements, quote unquote. And this goes in a pretty dark direction, because they're being offered basically either genetic modification or cybernetic enhancements, where you get into a bit more of this kind of transhumanist stuff. I mean, you see Wolf here, he just poetically, he just has himself enhanced to have like bear or wolf genes or something, to be like a more like the an actual like burlier animal. But the twins here, Hyena and Jackal, they actually go for like this full transhumanist makeover, entailing that they actually remove healthy limbs and tissues to replace them with robotic parts. To be honest, and it's not just something that they show off, but the Australian character who is on the right here, on the picture down here, he comments on this multiple times that he finds it disturbing. He didn't actually get any cybernetic enhancements. He just has like an Iron Man suit.
He's just a suit of armor. Yeah.
So he has no genetic enhancements and no cybernetic enhancements. And because he felt so alienated by all of the damage that these other characters had done to themselves, he chooses basically to leave the group just to be like a superhero in Australia. That's kind of his arc. But like for these other two, they get into a lot of stuff. I don't know if you want to show some of the clips. You could show the clips without the sound, where they use some of these like transhumanism, these kind of transhumanist effects. I find it quite disturbing, honestly, especially for children's cartoon.
I can show that. The Griff video is also ready when we want to see that. Glow in the Dark for $20 American. Thank you very much. I think I know why the first few seasons of most series are usually the best ones. In the beginning, they had to prove themselves to be creative. Then it gets popular, special interests get involved with money investment. Yeah, it's a very, on the surface, it's very often that's what happens. The creative and the talent sort of gets pushed out for corporate interests. But I think in modern day, it's a lot more insidious than just a business decision.
Yeah,
what
certainly.
Do you think, like?
I mean, they have the term that's called a cash cow. I took a business course once, right? There's like this reliable product that just keeps pumping out cash. And I mean, you see that now where they have, the world's population is so old, right? There's so much nostalgia going on, and every movie that's being pumped out is something that's like old, reliable, boring stuff.
It's
So there's
Star Wars remake
yeah.
number 1,000,000, right?
And it's just intellectual property being reused, right? It's just being reused for either just to get some cash in the pockets of the investors and to promote certain political agendas. And like, there's no actual creative vision. There's no place for it, right? It's just completely suffocated by the inertia of the system. Okay, here you have the clips. So you can just show them without sound, and I guess I'll just make some comments here. So here we see the dog in action, Bronx, who's bitten off the arm of Jackal here, and there you go. Of course, you see it's a completely like mechanical arm. There's no flesh or anything. So he bites it off, and he thinks he's gotten a win, but the arm just sort of apparently has a mind of its own, and it can just crawl back, and they could put that in there. And of course, this used to, like, he just had like healthy arms and legs, right? This thing is like, this character is like the worst. You see some of these bending things that she does with her body, and now like, prepare for this one. Ugh.
Oh, that activated some fear response. I'm just trying to fight the algorithm here for not getting
okay,
us.
we're fighting the algorithm, and we win.
Yeah.
But like, this one is actually like, these two things are the okay, you'll see it.
He also says that special interests can mean activists too. That's very true. And in that sense, yeah, you're right. Snaking their eyes back. Yeah, so they go really hard on that stuff, huh?
Yes, they do, and they are like, it does reflect their mental state, because they are shown to just be completely demented characters in terms of how far they're willing to go and what they're willing to sacrifice. Like the hyena character, that's like the Canadian woman with the spider body. She, in multiple episodes, she actually expresses sexual interest for Coyote. That's like just the big robot, basically, and it's not just like played for laughs. She's apparently like sort of aroused by this like big hulking machine body, in a sense. So I mean, it's like, I think if you're a kid, you're probably not noticing that stuff, but for me, I mean, I see that it's a sort of cartoon, but the kind of implications of it, it's it made me feel a little bit
made me feel uneasy.
yucky.
Yeah.